friends. Welcome to a very special Christmas episode of the Ministry Chick podcast. I'm Melissa Mashburn, your host, and today is extra meaningful because I am joined by the women who help carry the heart and the mission of the Ministry Chick Network every single day. Today, we have joining us Erin Pickering, Dr. Brandy Baxter, and Jesse Young. But before we jump in, I want to speak directly to the woman listening right now. Listen, if this year is stretched you, if leadership feels heavier than expected, or if you're ending the year quietly wondering, am I even doing this right? You are in the right place. This conversation isn't about for women who have it all figured out. It's about a community of women who are supported while we figure it out. So today you'll hear from each of us and how we became a part of the MCN story, what God has shaped in us through 2025 and what we're praying for over women in ministry as we step into 2026. You'll also get a glimpse of how we help women move forward with clarity, confidence, and community, not pressure or performance. So grab your cup of coffee, settle in, and join us for this honest Christmas conversation. You don't have to lead alone, and you never were meant to. Wow. I cannot wait. Y'all, we have been looking forward to this conversation for a while. Um, Let me just start off with this. None of us are perfect. None of us. None of us are perfect. So for those that are just meeting you, tell us who you are, what you do with MCN, and one thing you're not generally, genuinely loving in this season, in your life or ministry. We're going to go Brandy, Erin, and then Jesse. So Brandy, kick us off.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandy Baxter, and here at Ministry Chick Network, I serve as the director of coaching and leadership. And my exciting thing, or the thing that I'm most enjoying in this season, is hanging out with my family. So I have two
Mhm.
teenage daughters, 14 and 15, and usually this is the scary time of parenting when you have teenage rebellion and all the things, but God has been very gracious. And I
Oh,
feel like this year has been probably the sweetest year in a while with
yeah.
my daughters. And so I just love watching them become young women. And it also reminds me of all of you and how we are, each one of us, in different seasons. And the Lord has invited us to just spend time with Him as part of His family.
Love that. Love that. I love the um this has been such a graceful, sweet season with teenage daughters. That's a gift. That's a gift. Erin, what about you?
Hi guys, I'm Erin and I get to do all things related to communications and marketing. And also in the coaching part of Working Genius because I'm a certified Working Genius facilitator. And so um basically if you see pretty graphics and all like kind of things behind the curtain like Oz, because my favorite movie happens to be Wicked and it's my favorite musical. That is what I get to do and I love it. So
That's
um,
cool.
and then the favorite thing about this season, chestnut praline from Starbucks. That's my joy right now.
Got it. Got it.
And
Love it.
and the fact that like it has buy one get one free at Publix because I'm in South Carolina and the chestnut praline was on sale. I stocked up.
Mm, there you go. That's I feel the same with the white
Mm.
Christmas blend. That's
Right?
I will be stocking up in the next 2 weeks, that's for sure. Awesome. What about you,
I'm
Miss
Jessie,
Jessie?
and I help with all things video, podcast videos, and our membership tier videos. And what I am loving in this season is I also have three teenage daughters, and they are seem to be in the same place as Brandy's girls. Just fun to be around. And I have actually really loved the cold weather because it has just allowed us time to be inside. And I've picked up a couple random
Oh,
handcrafts to do in the cold weather while we're watching movies and TV together. And it has just been such a relaxing um, addition to our schedule in this normally busy season. So I'm really enjoying that.
I love that. I love how God just also brings these sweet little things for you to do with your hands when everything you do is with your head and your mind and the knowledge work type stuff. I think for me, this year, when we'll talk about this year in just a bit, but this season has been particularly sweet for me because it's been I don't know about the rest of you, but it's been a long time since I've had like girlfriends, like real I have lots of friends, right? But girlfriends that you can share the journey, the high, the low, the prayer, the crying, the laugh till your belly ache type girlfriends. And the Lord has just blessed me in so many ways with this team, but with some old friends, and then even recently some new friends locally, to just hang out and have scones and watch. I watched White Christmas for the first time on Monday night. I know they were like, "This is shameful that you have not seen this." So they dropped everything, made some homemade scones because they heard that I love scones and I can't get them anywhere where I live. And we just sat on the couch in our comfy clothes and watched White Christmas and talked through the whole movie, but it was amazing. And so I'm just grateful for the gift of godly girlfriends in a season when it felt like I haven't had them. So that's a gift. I want to look back because I mentioned this just a second ago. I want to look back on 2025. I know we're not done yet, but it's coming quickly. Um, and I want to look at God's faithfulness in this last year. Brandy, what's one way that you saw God work this year in Ministry Chick Network or in yourself that actually surprised or even steadied you?
Hmm. Well, in ministry, I lead women's ministry, and God surprised me by carving, and I use this term intentionally, carving a piece of my heart out
Mm.
for the women.
Yeah.
Um, because I am very much a strategy process person. And I feel like in this year, I was really called to grow
Mm,
in my relational leadership.
mm,
And while I approached it initially as another task, another goal, another thing to do, I think that the Lord intentionally carved out space in my
mm,
heart for the women that I
mm,
serve. And it surprised me
mm,
because I feel like as I ended the year, it was less about
mm,
did we reach the goals, but more about how the
mm.
people on my team were actually doing at the end of this year.
That's good. I love that. Aaron, where did you see growth or breakthrough this year that listeners might not normally see?
Ooh. I think that
Mhm,
he's with you in the hard. Like, there's a lot of times that the Lord can be leading us, in the
mhm,
hard and change. And that
mhm,
is first, it's like gut wrenching because when he
mhm,
asks you to
mhm,
change something, something that you've been doing maybe for 10 years, maybe for 15 years, and it's a season where you just don't understand
mm,
why he's asking you to do it. And so it feels like there's a part of you that like
mm,
you lose
mhm,
when you make the change. And so you go into this wilderness, right? Um, whether you are leaving a job, whether you're relocating, I mean, whether it's just your family dynamic has changed, like there's so many pieces, right? Maybe you've stepped into something new and that's a new season and it feels out of your comfort zone.
mm.
Um I love his name, Elroy, that he is the God who sees.
Yeah.
Because when you
Mhm,
get in the hard, I feel like that's the breakthrough. It's the place where it moves you beyond yourself and you just go, I got nothing left, God. And he goes, good. Now let me do what I do. And so for the breakthrough,
mm,
even for me personally, um, to see his faithfulness
yeah.
and to see really
Mhm,
above and beyond what I could ever ask, think, or imagine.
yeah.
If 5 or 6 months ago, if I would have said where I'm at today, I would be like, "Yeah, you're crazy." So I
Yeah.
think what I would tell the MCN women is don't lose heart. You can run on faith fumes, you can run like you're crawling but just keep crawling. Hold on to that thread on the hem of his robe because
Yeah.
he sees you and he's with you and a breakthrough does come. It just doesn't seem like it,
That's
but it
good.
does.
That's good. That's good. All right, Jesse, what moment made you stop and think God is really doing something
Yeah, I feel
here?
like I've had lots of those this year. But one in particular was a moment where I surrendered my dreams to the Lord. And he came back and said,
To the
because of
Lord.
that surrender, I assume, here it is. You can have it. And so I'm just so thankful for the way
Yeah.
that he's provided. And I remember in that moment thinking, Lord, this is not something, kind of like back what Aaron was saying about full dependence on the Lord. Um, I had to fully depend on him because I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do this in my own power and in my own resources. And so I said, you're going to have to do it and show me that you can do it. And he has so abundantly. And I am so grateful for that. And just for the ways that he's been so personal in those things. It's just such, if I have my eyes open and I'm looking for his goodness, I'm going to find it because it's all over. And so I'm so thankful for that this year.
Yeah. That's so good. Give me goosebumps. I love that, Jesse. I appreciate
Good.
the fact that you said if
Mhm.
we look for it,
Yeah.
we will see it.
Yeah.
We will see. And I think we can when we slow down, like we're reflecting on 2025, when we slow down and look back, we can see God's fingerprints so much more clear than in the moment when we're feeling all the feels and let's be honest, we do a really good job of feeling all the feels. We're women. We got like bonus extra feels for some reason, so he gave us those. Thank you for those gifts, Lord. But I want to segue over because we're talking about reflecting, we're talking about looking back, and I want to talk about gratitude and the gifts of this season. So I'm going to go Jesse first, then Aaron, then Brandy. What's one thing you're deeply grateful for
I feel
this
like
year,
the thing I'm
personally,
most grateful
not
for
just
is
ministry?
community. I work from home. I'm at home a lot. I have kids. And I feel like developing community has been such a lifeline in my life this year, especially. And I'm so thankful for a God that we follow who is a
Yeah.
communal God. He is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And so he just demonstrates that to us and models that for us. And when we accept that and build that in our lives, we see such just good things. And so this year, I'm grateful that God has developed my community.
I love that. I love that. Aaron?
Can you repeat the question for me? Because Jesse, that answer was so good. I'm like, okay, wait, was I supposed to be answering?
We're like all
Yeah,
up in it. We're
we're like
like,
leaned in, and I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to answer again?
I was good. Right. I love it. I love it. What's one thing you are deeply grateful for this year, personally, not just ministry?
Ooh. Um, I'm gonna piggyback on Jesse on community, but I'm gonna say you guys personally, this team, but also my mentors this year. Um, it was a hard year.
Yeah.
It was a hard year personally. And I think that's for what the women don't see in Ministry Chick is like, we don't have the Instagram life, even though we're like, we show up and we're doing like this videos and like showing you real time stuff. Like, there's a lot of personal things that we face.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say the support from them. Sorry.
Don't be
I
sorry.
think emotionally to have p those mentors pour into you and to be like Aaron and holding up Moses's arms, like, "You've got this, you're gonna get through stuff," and just to have those people, I think that's why I get so grateful for coaching in the places that even after a couple years has passed by, I got to see one of my previous mentors and
Mm.
coaches and
Mhm.
just have those real moments and they're like, "We got you."
We got you.
And to
Yeah.
be that raw and authentic person and for them to go, "It's okay.
Yeah.
We've got you." That has been such a blessing for me this year. So I would
Mm.
say the
Mhm. Mhm.
community, but that
Mm.
mentorship that God provided in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. There's um something powerful about what you just said about the authentically showing up and your coaches, your mentors, but also your friends where you can have a place where you can be really you. Like
Mhm.
none of it. We said from the get-go, none of us are perfect. We all
Nope.
fall short, right?
Yep.
Or I told I think I told you all one point, one of my assistants years ago gave me a sign from my desk that said, God bless this hot mess. And I was like,
Yes.
she's not wrong. She
Mm.
is not wrong. But I think that's something really sweet about like
Mhm.
that people can know you, the good, the bad, the
Yeah.
ugly, and still love you and still cheer you on and still
Yep.
want to come alongside you. So,
Yep.
um, Randy, what about you? One thing you're deeply grateful for this year, personally, not just ministry.
Well, I'm gonna just do the triple crown and double
Yeah.
down on community. Um, I echo what Jesse and Aaron said,
Mhm.
working from home in
Yeah,
a very like singular space, being able to connect with you all as a team has been good, just from a communal standpoint. And then I've had a hard year as well with in leadership, just I always tell my husband, if people would just do what I said, it would be better. And, yet they don't. And so, I have had some experiences
Mm,
this year that surprised me, like, this is what I have to have a conversation about with an adult, a
right.
person with children. Like, this is
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Mhm.
But being able to come and connect with you guys and other communities that I'm a member
Mm,
of has really been just the physical presence of, God being a spirit. Sometimes you just need someone that can look you in the eyes while you're bawling and
yeah.
and give you the head nod.
Yeah.
And so God has
Yes.
used people in my community to give me the head nod when
Mm,
I'm just balling out of control, or to wrap me in their arms when I just feel like I'm carrying the weight
mm,
of the world on
mhm,
my shoulders. It's not necessarily that the person has the answer,
mhm,
but in that moment, God has ordained for that
mhm.
person to be present, whether
Right.
physically and or virtually. Because there's
Yeah.
been a lot of times I've come to our calls and you guys have given me the head nod, like, girl, we get it
Mhm.
and you're gonna be okay. And so I agree with Jesse and Aaron. Community is something I'm really grateful for this year.
Mhm. Goodness. I think I'm gonna put the cherry on top because I just said that,
Woohoo!
like, for the and it's so
Mhm.
like God, right? That that he would unite our hearts, but it would also be the heartbeat of what we know for women in ministry. This is what
Yeah.
you've told us. This is what the
Mhm.
survey has said for years is to have a community of women that get it. Like you can say something about something, a specific situation. You don't even have to go into detail, but you can give
Yeah.
us like the big idea things of what's going on in your ministry context. And we're like, "Yup,
Yep.
in there. I get that." Um, a and there's just something sweet, and I think that's one of the things of why we do what we do is we
Mhm.
understand what it's like to lead alone and to have a community. And I say community, listen, I've been in the ministry space for 25 years as a pastor and a pastor's wife, and I am always surrounded by people and still felt lonely and
Yeah.
still didn't feel heard. And I'm talking even when I was on staff, even
Mhm.
when I'm serving behind the scenes and doing the thing. And so I just want to just take a moment to affirm, like, I hope if you're listening, if you're sitting here going, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one. You are not.
Yeah.
You are not the only one. And when we pause and we have a moment of gratitude to look at what God's done, I mean,
Mhm.
for me, I was running Ministry Chick by myself, right? For a while. And in 2025, God brought each of you to the team, and you were things you were you not only filled spots that I didn't know that I needed, but you filled places in my heart that I didn't know were missing. And I know, because you're all so
Mhm.
different, but that's, I think, the beauty of when you do have that is you see how the body works together, and
Yep.
that's such a gift. I want to shift. We've been looking back, we've been looking with gratitude, but I want to start looking forward, right? Because as leaders, most of the time we are looking ahead. And I don't know about you, but I'm already like, okay, what about Christmas 2026? I know, weird, 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 but we're looking ahead. So, what are we expecting and praying for in 2026? Aaron, I want to ask you this. What are you
Hmm.
excited to strengthen or build for women in ministry this next year with Ministry Chick Network?
Conversation. I think that if you're listening to this, when we do the polls, when we do the surveys in our social media platforms or the things that we share, like we are genuinely heart wrenchingly, right? From those deep places of we want to talk with you. I mean, and so if you're listening, if you're not connected with us on social media, if you're not even getting like the clarity queue emails, like sign up, get connected and participate in the conversation because your voice does matter. And the way we work, the way that we pray about things of what God has for women, that when we were all starting off in ministries, we were scrambling and trying to carve space because we didn't have some of this stuff 20 years ago that we needed. And so, but we're carving that space for conversation because we want to know what you're struggling with. We want to know, like, I'm overwhelmed. We want to know the wins and the victories and how to help. And so, conversation. co- Yes.
That's good. That's good. Jesse, where do you see God inviting us to grow in connection or communication? Specifically, like what we're we're talking about
I
what we're
feel like
expecting and praying for in 2026, but where do you see God
we need
inviting
to be
us
more
to grow in connection
spontaneous
or communication?
and fun with it, right? Like a friend randomly asked me to coffee last week, and I was like, well, I gotta work.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm gonna say yes to this because it's important and I want to build that and I want to steward my time well. And that means being with people over some project that I can do later. And so I feel like stewarding my time and saying yes when opportunity arises and just being willing to listen for the spirit's nudge. Um, this is where I want you right now. And then following in obedience and seeing what he's doing because he's up to good things. And I want to participate in that. And you want to participate in it too because you know good stuff's happening when the spirit's leading you around. So um, say yes to the spirit.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. That's good. All right, Brandy, what are you praying over women in ministry as we step into 2026?
I'm praying that we invest in ourselves.
Mm.
Um, and this is probably selfish because I'm in the coaching space, but I've seen the value of someone having a coach, which is different than a mentor, because a mentor is doing the thing that you want to
Yeah.
do and they just tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Different than a counselor, because a counselor is going to try to help you unpack all the baggage from the past. But
Yeah.
a coach is the person who helps you get unstuck for the thing that's in
Yeah.
your and so I would love more women to invest in themselves, not just in the training that we provide. That's great. But training will only get you so far. There is a talk track that's in our mind that limits us, and a coach can help you change the channel. And so I would really love to see women investing in themselves.
I am. I feel like I need to add. I know we have this like this applause thing for the thing. I just can't find it right now, but I know, right? Okay, so I'm going to pause for just a second because I have more to say. But I think what you just said is really important to stop on, Brandy, because that talk track is legit. It is a real thing, and there's a part of what we do, and in some of the future episodes that we're going to have with the four of us together, we're going to be talking about the things that we wish people talked about, but nobody talks about. So we're going to be tackling that in the future episodes. But but this is kind of one of them. This is one of those things that we can get stuck on. I should be grateful that I have a job. I should be thankful. I should just take my spot and be okay. I shouldn't rock the boat. And I feel like these are some of those tracks that you're talking about, right? Yeah. Let me How many of you have had a coach? If you just raise your hand. Yeah. How many of you have had a mentor?
I feel like my mentor was more
Right. Let me
like a
ask that,
comrade,
the difference,
like
Jesse, for
a
you
person
from
who
a
was
coach
walking in the
and a
trench with
mentor?
me. But a coach for me has always been someone who's standing at the end of it, kind of trying to pull you out and
Yeah.
up. Whereas a mentor was like, let me take your hand. We're going to walk together. A coach does that too, but I feel like there's also this pulling up or towards better, bigger, more,
Yeah.
more direction towards where God's calling you to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. That's good. And I do appreciate you said, Brandy, the difference with a counselor. A counselor usually goes back and works on things from your past and helps you unlock anything that's kind of blocking you from moving forward. A comrade is, like you said, somebody that's walking along with you. And a coach is usually the one that's saying, let's go. Here's the next step.
Hmm.
Here's where we're going. Erin, you said that you've been coached before. What was that
Yeah.
experience like for you?
Um, it was
Hmm.
deeply personal. I think
Hmm.
in the mentor part, because I worked in the corporate world so long, so a lot of my mentors actually were not women, they were men.
Yeah.
In communications and in marketing and the environment. I mean, I did have a career before I was in ministry.
Mm.
So um it was more like, okay,
Mm.
let's talk through about how we can do a better schedule. Or like my mentor was there, but he was often my
Mhm.
boss because
Hmm.
he wanted me to achieve the best success in
Sure.
the environment that I was in. Right.
Yeah.
My
For the
co
organization.
For the organization, yeah, and, like, "Let me teach you how to do this better," right?
Right.
And then I'm gonna challenge you, and I'm gonna grow you in your skills. So that was the
Mm.
mentor
Right.
part. For the coaching part, whether that was with Jenny and Julie, like, at Get Foresight, it was it was personal. Like, what's your conversational intelligence like? Okay, let's look at your DISC profile, and how are you approaching the table in meetings?
Hmm.
You know, are you
Hmm.
listening? I mean, it was much more not the counselor part. It's much more, how are you leading yourself and how is it being received?
Hmm.
Because
That's good.
we learned from in that was to lead yourself well is to lead others well. So how are you leading yourself? Do you have your self-awareness? And how do you harness that self-awareness for you to be a better leader so then you can multiply yourself? So it's very personal
Yeah.
in my conversation because I'm a direct person, right? I'm an Enneagram 8 with a wing 2. That's called a maverick. And how does that translate in a
Mm.
meeting? Because there's a lot of times I could sit and just go, "Yep, okay. Uh-huh." And then people think that it could be received that I'm short or that I'm not emotional. And really, I love what Brandy said that she's very kind of task strategic driven. So my automatic place to process from is from that task oriented part of me. So I'm just processing and going, yeah, okay. And then, but go, okay, slow down and then actually have the conversation. So coaching helped from that personal perspective and it stretches you differently.
Mm,
And it changed me.
that's good.
Like it changed my life.
That's good. That's good. Brandy, I'm going to give you one moment to wrap up because I know you started this little thread that we just went down. So I guarantee you have some kind of word of wisdom to wrap that section up.
I mean, honestly, as a professional coach, the thing I enjoy most about working with clients is helping them see the thing that they dream about become reality.
Yeah.
And often we get in our own way
Mm.
because the talk track is louder and it's
Mhm.
negative. And so the coach is the one who can help you change the channel on that talk track and bring that future dream into your present reality.
Mm. There you go. I knew you would have like there's a little exclamation point
Yeah.
right there. And that's so cool because I think that's one of the things as we're looking ahead and what we're praying for and expecting for 2026. Listen, y'all, behind the scenes, I'm in Texas, so we're gonna y'all for here for all right. Behind the scenes, we have been working furiously all through 2025, building this foundation. And my prayer for 2026 is that women would stop trying to lead alone or stop trying to figure it out
Yeah.
all by themselves and to actually seek the clarity that they need and
Yeah.
say yes to investing in themselves. And this isn't a pitch. This is legit. Like the four of us have had coaching and I know I'll echo even what Aaron said. It changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my leadership, of my
Yeah.
confidence, of where I was going with what I thought I was capable of. I will even put that in there. It was through that that the books started coming out, the business started to launch, and different things like that. And so we have spent this last year building a foundation to 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 basically give you a roadmap of what we know works from 4 women that are in the ministry that have the experience that have been coached that know what changed our life and then we're mapping it out so that it just makes sense and it's so much easier for you because we know from all of the data you have decision fatigue and there's a billion other things that are just clouding your mind. So we just want to keep it simple. So that's what I'm praying for 2026. Before we wrap this up, I want to ask everybody, and we'll go Brandy, Aaron, Jesse's because this is I'm just going to make a big heart on my screen here. I want to ask you to just speak. Um, what's one encouragement you'd leave with the woman with women that are listening as she closes this year?
Okay, so y'all, being married to a pastor, I tend to think in alliterations and I also tend to think in imagery. And so when Melissa asked that question, the first thing I thought about was as you're closing out 2025, leave it in the rearview mirror.
Mm,
As in,
Girl.
that's the path that you've already traveled and it's behind
mhm,
you. But look through the windshield and see what's before you. And I encourage you to really partner with the Holy Spirit. And what is the thing that He is calling you into that is so scary, you're afraid to say it out loud? And the beauty of that imagery is your rearview mirror is very small compared to the windshield. And so God has a big vision and a big dream for you, and I encourage you to lean into it.
How am
So
I supposed to follow up on that?
I know. I'm like, where is the
like,
clapping noise? I need the clapping noise.
like mic drop. We're done. Like it's good.
Wrapping it up.
There's your nugget. like
No, but I think you're gonna have a different take on it, and that's what I love about this team is it's the same question. What encouragement would you leave for the woman listening that as she closes out this year?
Mm.
So Jesse said to be more spontaneous and learn to say yes.
Mm.
I'm gonna pull an opposite on certain things. Learn to where to say no.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Because if you say yes
Mm.
to everything, you will stay burned out. You
So
will
good.
stay in that I have no time for myself. I can't make decisions. I can't things. You have to learn where to say yes. Like Jesse
Mm.
said, be that spontaneous and allow for the good yeses, but
Yeah.
also you have to learn where to say no because God wants you to learn balance.
Mm.
And if you are exhausting yourself to the point that you can't think and allow yourself to grow, like I want to grow, but you're like, there's no time. It's because
Mm.
you're not saying no to certain things to carve out space where you need to say yes.
You're stepping on my toes.
Mm.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I like,
But I
oh,
always say that with point 10 fingers at myself. And those are lessons, ladies. If you're
Mm.
watching and you're listening, we've all had to learn that and we're still
Mhm.
learning it.
Yeah.
It's like we
One.
learn it and then we gotta, oh, God's gotta teach us again. Learn where to say yes, which
Mm.
Jesse, I love that,
Mhm.
but also
yes.
learn where to say no and be
Mhm.
like Elsa. I'm gonna pull a Disney, like let it go.
Let it
Like,
go.
because God wants you to have balance and rest.
Mm,
Mhm. That's good.
that
That's
is good.
good.
Look, you got this.
Mm.
Ooh,
Got
I
Recently,
got
there
something
you
that
go.
I've been holding on to is
this.
There
hope
you go.
is not for the
Brandy
known, it's
Brandy
for
keeps
the
us
unknown.
on the young side.
And
So
so
Yes.
I
how's
would
that?
call you
Jesse,
to
how
hope
about you? One
in what's
encouragement you'd leave with the
unknown
woman
coming in
listening as she closes this
2026.
year?
Unknown job, unknown home, unknown anything that you're walking into that's foggy or that's unclear.
Mm.
Clarity can be had and hope
Oh,
should be held. And so
So
my
good.
encouragement comes from Psalm 31, where it says, "Be strong and let your heart be courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord." So hope in the Lord in 2026.
well,
That's the Lord.
oh,
Yeah, that's
Jesse,
a
come on. Like, I got goosies. Woo.
that's good. That's good.
That was good. Well done, Jess. Well done.
Yes.
Oh man, y'all are making this hard. I should go first from now on. I need to go first because then it just looks like I'm surrounded with really smart people. Golly, I'm trying to think. What encouragement? Um, gosh, I loved all of those. I think for
Mm.
me, and this has been a posture of my heart for a few years, um, is really just to kind of go with open hands. You gotta watch your yes,
Mm.
watch your no, be spontaneous, all of that. But everything that I would approach everything with open hands. We
Mhm.
make our plans, but God's plans prevail, right? So I do think we have a responsibility to show up, prayed up,
Yeah.
planned, and prepared for what God might want to do, but then we have to submit it and lay it down and
Yeah.
say, "Okay, I did my part, Lord. Um, have your way. Like I either plant or I water, but you bring the growth. So
Mm.
whatever I have, it's here's my fishes and loaves, right? um do what you're going to do, and that's really that's all we can do is show up ready to do the work that he's called us to, but not get so focused and so
Mm.
strung out and so stressed out on it's got to be perfect and it's got to be exactly how I oh my gosh, and then we beat ourselves up because it wasn't perfect or it didn't go
Oof.
as we planned, or there was a, a derail in the
Mm.
planning, right? We technically recorded this episode last week and
Yep.
everything
Mm.
went wrong. And I was
Yep.
so like, okay, God, there's got to be a
Mm.
reason. And
Yes.
then we show up today and it is
Yeah.
exactly what needed to be said. So I would just encourage you as you go into 2026, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Come prepared and all of those things, but also just make sure that you bring open hands and a willing heart and let God
Mhm.
do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So, wow, we got like all kinds serious there for a minute, but
Mhm.
um, I hope I hope if you're listening today, I hope you know that this is a team, that we are for you, that we are cheering for you, that we pray for you. Like when I say we pray for you, that's not a in passing, oh, we'll pray for you. We legitimately pray for you and what God is doing in you and through your ministry. We know that He has a good and perfect plan for your life and for your calling. And we just want to make sure that you know that we are real women ready to walk alongside you as you go through your calling, right? We want you to live that out confidently. We want you to live that out with clarity and with peace. And so we hope that by joining our conversation today, that you feel seen, you feel supported, that you feel loved. This is a team that we play big, we love big, but we work hard too. So I hope that you felt that. And I just want to say, we're here, every one of us. You can reach out to any one of us on our website, ministrychick.com. But let me just leave you with this. This has been a gift to spend time and have this Christmas conversation with you. And like I said, our hope is that you feel seen, not for your role or your title or your where you fit on the org chart, right? It's not about any of that, but as a woman who is faithfully showing up, even when the season feels heavy or unclear. And we all know what that's like. We all know what that's like. So if something has been stirred with you today, hear this. You don't need a bigger push. You need clearer support. And that's what we want to be. That's why the Ministry Chick Network exists, to walk with you as you gain clarity, as you strengthen your confidence, and as you take your next faithful step forward. You can explore all of our resources, our community, and support at ministrychick.com. We have a beautiful, amazing website. Thank you to Erin. And you can follow us along on Instagram at ministrychick. And then if this episode encouraged you, please do us a favor. Like it, share it, leave a review, rate it. Make sure you share it with another friend to let them know that she is seen and she is supported. But from all of us to all of you, we just wanted to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for joining us today. Merry Christmas.